Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Sleepy Sunday stream where we're doing something a little bit different. We've done this once before, but this weekend I really felt like doing a double bill of two games that have come out in the last week or the last 2 weeks. But whereas before we did them as kind of like a double bill of local kind of Scottish games from local creators, this time we're doing a double bill of interesting, chill-looking puzzle games that I think more people should know about. So we're going to play Liquidum to start off with, which is like as far as I understand, it's sort of a Picross-esque game, but with some twists. And then we're going to play Soccer Bond Express in a couple of hours, which is a combination of Soccer Bond, which I never played, and Cosmic Express, which I did play and I really, really loved. I've not really played either of these before, apart from to open them and make sure they work, so we're going to be learning how on earth these work together. Alright, I guess let's get going with Liquidum, because I just want to kind of jump straight into this. Just going to check my audio is working. Yeah, that sounds fine. Okay. Right, so yeah, first things first, obviously we're on this menu. I want to click this button and see what this button is. I assume save files. Well, obviously we're going to be the sea turtle now. Alright, so the game comes with a bunch of levels. It also comes with daily levels and stuff as well, and workshop. We're unlikely to get into a bunch of those. I did see there was already a little DLC out, which I guess is this one. But as I don't know the rules to this game, I guess that's just start up there. So let's start. So here we go. Alrighty. Well, yeah, let's dip our toes. So, for those of you who don't know nonograms or Picross, they are games where you have a cell of, like a grid of cells, and some numbers along the side, and you have to solve the puzzle by highlighting the correct cells in this grid based on the rules. In Picross or nonograms, a number here normally means that there's 3 in this row, a number here means there's 1 in this row, a number here means there's 2 in this row, and in traditional Picross, it means they've got to be contiguous. So 2 means I'd have to click here and here. Now, already we can see that's not quite true in this rule set. If there's a number on the left hand side, it just means there's got to be 3 in that row or that column. Oh, incidentally, before we get going, one thing I did turn off because I don't like it is I just ticked allow mistakes, so we can fluff this up and have to go fix it ourselves later. Anyway, as this is the first level, you can see it says use all the clues to complete the grid with water. Numbers show how much water there is in a row or a column. So, normally, as you look for numbers that are kind of full, like a full row column, so in this case it's 3 by 3, we know that one, and that one has to be filled up. You can see it hopefully highlights edges that, fulfill the rules. We also know that one and that one have to be filled up, which means I'm going to assume most of these games have right click, to say there's nothing in there. So for example, we know that it can't be any more in this row or this column because we've already completed it, which means that cell's empty, which means we can fill that in and complete the puzzle. So that's just teaching us the basics. I assume there's going to be twists to this formula very quickly. Oh yeah, there we go. It's telling us about the using X to mark cells you can't have water in is extremely useful. Even though it's optional, you should use it constantly. Yes, this is very true if you've ever played a Picross before. Okay, so as I say, the normal thing I do is I look for ones where we know that the whole row or column has to be filled up. So if this is 4 by 4, those 4 have to be completed. We then know we can't have any in this column. We've already got 1 in that column. Hopefully you can see how that already helps, because now we can go boop, 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 and we have 3 in that column, that row. Then that column is completed, which now means we can figure out the top row and complete it. So we're likely to kind of bomb through some of these earlier levels, as I've done a lot of Picross and Nonogram before. But I suspect it will get weird very soon. Oh, I think it might be getting weird now. So previously, we had this fixed solid wall between every cell, and we don't anymore. Oh. Right. So, cells not separated by a wall belong to the same aquarium, where they are always at the same level, and water cells are never above empty cells. So yes, it's kind of water rules, right? We can't, we can't put water up here without it flowing down to fill the lower ones if we assume there's gravity. So what that means is we don't know what's in these rows and we don't know what's in these columns, but as we know there's has to be 3 up there, that has to fill up that entire aquarium. If there's just 2 in this column, that means we have to have a depth of 2. Oh, okay. That's already interesting. And I can see there's going to be some slightly odd, or not odd, but new deductions that I can use that I've not used in other games. Yeah, so, okay, so for example, if we put something here, we've got a sort of dogleg aquarium, which means... So what that means is there's 2 ways this aquarium can be filled. It can, well, 3 ways. It can either be entirely empty, it can have 1 water cell there, or it can have 3 water cells around the corner. We can't just do this cell. We can't just do this cell. That's interesting. Okay, so we know there has to be 4 down there. Now, if we look at this column, we know it can't be that, because if it's that, and we try and fill this in, oh no, it can be that, because that can still be free. Ah, yes, but we can't do that and that, obviously. Okay. Okay, so what we do know is we can't fill this aquarium, because that will always be either none or both. And that disobeys that rule. So we can knock that out, which means we know this column has to have 3 up to there, which will fill across there as well. So knocks that out, which gives us that. Interesting. Yes, okay, I can already see this being... I can see it's getting very complicated with interesting shaped aquariums. Okay. Counting waters. All levels have a unique solution. Pay attention to all hints. Okay. So that means we've got an extra hint over here that we are needing to solve this grid, but using exactly 7 water cells. Yeah, and this is what I mean about it kind of being interesting with filling the aquariums, right? Because this pentomino shape here can either be all empty, all of that full, or the whole thing full. Similarly, this one up here, we can do that, but if we try and fill this top row, it will fill the entire aquarium, going around the whole thing, which can't be correct because it invalidates this rule. But of course, we can do that and that separately. Oh no, okay. Okay, but the thing is, we know that we can't fill that up, because if we click on any of these, it will always put 2 here, which will invalidate that rule. Which means we know that has to go there, that has to go there to complete that. Okay, and we only have 3 waters missing, because the reason this is important is because we could either complete this by putting 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, or is there an or? There might not be an or. No, there might not be an or, because if we tried to fill that up to complete the 3, it would invalidate that. Yeah, so I think it has to be that and that to finish it. Okay. Oh, okay, the grid has got a lot bigger suddenly. So we're a 7x7 grid. Right, and after we start on this then. Okay. So up here we've got 5, right? So there's no way of doing anything here to fill that with 5 that doesn't fill up this entire aquarium. Because if we do this and this, we can get 2 there, but then we can never get like anything less than 5 over here. So, I think we have to do that as a starting point, which fills that and that. Which then means this 6 down here, we have to fill across there to complete. Then completes that column. And for this row of 4, we can do that one, and that one, but these 2 will always happen together. So as there's 3 here, we can never make enough without using this one, so I think we have to use that, which fills that. And then for this column with 4, so this is the same aquarium, right? So we can't just put 2 here or 2 here. The 2 have to go at the bottom because of the gravity. Oh no, there has to be 1 at the bottom because we've already gone up there. So that's, yeah, so that's now 4. Oh yeah, this is definitely making me think in different ways. That, oh no, so that can't go there. So that will fill up all these crosses. So that has to be finished, which means that 3 has to be completed there. Which means that 1 is finished, which means that has to be completed. Means that has to go there, and that finishes it. Alright, yes. I think I'm starting to get how this works. Oh, that seems to be a new level. But let's go over one a bit slower. We've got a difficult level with the basic rules. Let's see if we can do this and make sure we understand kind of some of the intuitions we've been taught already. So we've got a 6x6 grid. None of these say 6, so we can't immediately start there, so we already have to think a bit more cleverly. So where do we start? Well, let's start over here. So we need 4 in this column. Now the options, like the combinations we can have, is we can have 1 to 3 in this aquarium, relating to that column. Well, 0 to 3 there, I guess. And then we can have 0 to 2 here and 0 or 1 here. But we'll notice if we try and fill up this one to add 1 here, we're always going to fill up both of these because the aquariums are linked and at the same level they always fill up. That will disobey this rule. What that means, I think, is we just can't have those 2 filled in. So that then means we can have a maximum of 3 here, which is 1, we have to have at least 1 in here, like in this column. So we know we can fill that in. Okay. That also means if this has to make up 4, the max this can do is 2, which means we have to have at least 2 in this aquarium as well for that column. Okay. So does that move us anywhere? My bravado of going straight into a difficult level might be my downfall. But there we go. Oh yes, okay, so this does, right? Because now the max in this row is 2. And as we know at the same level they fill in the aquarium, it's actually capturing my... It doesn't appear to be capturing my mouse. 1 second. Better. better? Yeah, that might be better. Interesting, sorry. I thought it would automatically capture the mouse as it's in game. Anyway, so look at these two here. There will always either be 0 or 2. As we know, there has to be one here. 2 will take it over our 2 in the row, which means we have to do that. We have a similar problem for this one, that it can only be 0 or 2, which means we know there has to be one there, which then completes that column. Also, it's nice, by the way, they've actually set this up so if you right click and drag, it doesn't overwrite the water cells. That's a nice usability touch. Okay. So, similar deduction, if this is 1, we know we can't put 2, we can't place in either of these cells because those 2 will always be filled, so we'll close those off. Which means our option is then either this one or this one to fulfill that 1 there. Now, as we've put across here, we know that there can't be one here as well because they're at the same level in the same aquarium. Then for this row, we have, well, you need to fill in 3. We have 1 here and 1 here. But that can't make up 3, so we have to do those 2. Then we need to figure out whether it's this one or this one that fills up. Right, similarly, I guess if we cross out the bottom of an aquarium, we can't put water above it, so we can also cross those out. Which means we now only have 3 spaces left here. And these 2 will automatically fill up this Z or S piece. So that one's knocked off. And then we have to complete this whole thing with exactly 2 waters left. And we need to... So this column still needs 1. That completes that, which means we can't put anything there because of the aquarium rules. And it can't go here. We've only got 1 space left, so it has to go here. Oh, okay. Those hard ones are definitely a bit more tricksy. Okay. Oh no, 8 by 8. Alright. So, we've got 7 across here. Which means we have to fill up all of them but 1. Now, the only one that if we click here and here, we'll always add 2. So we have to do that. If we click here and here, we'll always add 2. So we have to do that. And if we click here or here, we'll always add 3. So we have to do that. The only one we can only remove 1 from is there, I think. That might come back to haunt us, but, you know, we'll figure that out. Yeah, look at how... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the aquarium shapes. They are going to be complicated, I think. Right, the other thing I guess we can deduce down here is that we've got a couple of 2 cells, or 3 2 cells and a couple of 1 cells. One of these 1 cells has to be completed. So that's the only way we can get an odd number. We don't know which one yet. Similarly, we've got 3 across here. So we have to fill up at least one of these 1s. And that's related, maybe. Oh no, because we've already got that one there as well. Okay. Okay, so let's think about this. If we put up here in any of these 3 cells, these 2 will become full of water, and that will take us above 2. So we know that we can't put anything in those cells. Similarly, if we put anything here, that will also fill up down here, which will take us over. So we can't put anything in those 2 cells. do the same thing for this column. If we do the same thing for this column, we can't do anything on that row. We can't do anything on that row either. But that doesn't take this one out of play because it doesn't flow over. It can't flow up a cell and back round. Oh my, okay. In fact, because we've got only these two that have to happen together, these two that happen together in this one, that tells me there has to be one there. And we don't know whether it's these ones or these ones just yet. Also, as there's only two allowed in this column, the max we can put water in is up to this level in this tall aquarium. Okay. Yeah, we can use the same rule here, that we can't add anything to these two, because that will go above this number. Okay, so I'm putting lots of crosses on the board, which feels like progress, but I'm not sure how much progress it actually is just yet. I guess it is some progress, because for this one, we've discounted either of these other two positions being the one that will make us an odd number. So I think that says we have to do that, which then completes this column, which means we can do that. Which then means we know it can't go in there, and there, because of the aquarium rules when I hover. Which I think means with this 5, because we've already got one, that means we have to do these two and these two, which takes that one out. Which then means we have to get the two up here. Which we can't do. So we've obviously made a mistake. Let's go back to where we were. We need 5 along here. Yeah, so I've obviously made a mistake in my deduction somewhere. Yeah, I have to have done because I can't put one there, which means I have to put one there. That means that has to go like that. Then we have the issue that we can't complete this one. Okay, let's reset that, because I've clearly made a mistake in my deduction somewhere. I think this first step was solid. Yeah, so it could go, it can go there, that's fine. It can't go here. Same reason it can't go here, because of those 2s. And it can't go higher than that there because of that 2. It can't be up there because of that 2. And it would flow around the corner. Can't be there or there. Back to this position. Yeah, I think we're back to this position. Unless I've already fluffed it up somehow. So, for this column we need 5. So we've already closed all this off. I think it has to be down here. And closes those 2 off as well. Okay. That means either we have to put 2 here, or 1 up here and 1 down here. It can't be, nothing can go there, obviously. And if we look at this, there needs to be 4 in this column. So the max we can put in that column there is 3, which means I think we need at least 1 here. That means it can't go there. So it needs to go there or there. I think that makes sense. Again, regretting jumping straight into the harder levels. My hubris has definitely done a number on me here. And the thing is, it looks from here we need 3, which means we need an odd number. So I think we have to go there. That means that 5 is done. But no, that's fluffed us again. Because then can't get 2 in this column. So yeah, one of my assumptions somewhere is definitely wrong. So I'm not filling that one in. It can't go there because that will ruin that column. Can't go there because that will ruin that column. Guess it could go there. Why did I don't know why I said that wasn't allowed. I guess because then I've got too many in other places. Yeah, then we can't get 5 down here. Ah! This is where the, it's definitely where the hints and it stopped me making mistakes would help, but I much prefer doing it without that. So let's examine this, find this like initial assumption again. We need 7 across here. And I think the only way we can not get 7, the only way we can not get 8 across here is by not putting in this cell. Because, yeah, you can't just do 1 there, you can't just do 1 there, you can't just do 1 there. So I think that has to be right. If that's so, then we can't have bonds there because of that too. Oh, this feels like we're going down the same path, doesn't it? Can't have bonds there because of that too. Can't have bonds there because of that too, and we can't have bonds up there because of that too either. Yeah, I don't think, because we put there, that will break that rule already. I don't think we can have there either. We have to fill that one in. Ooh, okay. I If that is all true... we have to do that, right? Hello, greeting Scar. Welcome to my brain gently melting. Can't do that one. Okay, if I completely fluff this one up again, we'll go on to the next levels and we'll come back to this one at the end to see if I've learned anything about this game specifically, not, you know, at a more emotional or philosophical level. Okay. So there's one here. Max that can take is 3. Does imply we need one down there. So max being docked there is 4. So we need one more at this column. Then says we can't do that because we've already got 4 in that row and we need a max of 5. There's 2 options here. Either this fills in, because we need one here, or just that, or the 2 goes here. And I think the 2 has to go here because there's not enough for up there. If we say that, that means that and that have to then be crossed out. So Sky, if you've not been following the whole thing, these aquariums that are surrounded by the black lines, they flow and they fill up with water, so you can't just put one here or here because it will fill up and kind of flow downwards. Because this whole thing is a joined aquarium. Okay, yeah, I'm glad it's easy to follow. This is, I suppose, just the first rule set. I assume there's more to stack on. Right, those can't go then, and... oh, which one on the 2 column? Maybe I'm making an incorrect deduction. That's why I keep getting stuck. Here, I filled it up by 2, this column here, because because I'm an idiot, I think. I thought that it had to be here, but you're right, you can have one here and one up here, and that would still fulfill that. So, okay, let's not do that. Okay, so if you look at this row, we need 2 more across here. And there's only one other single one. I think that means we either have to fill these 2 or these 2. Because again, with the aquarium, we can't just fill one of them. So I think that means that cell is out. Yes, you're right. That one does have to have at least 1 down there, which means that knocks that out, which means that knocks those out as well. So... does that leave us here? We need 2 here still. We need 3 across here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we can't do those, which means it has to be those. Which means it can't go anything, nothing can go there. It has to be that. There we go. Oh, okay, phew. A few quick-fire deductions at the end there. Oh, okay, well, apparently undo when you've completed it removes everything from the level. Let's just run away from that. I was hoping just to undo one step to redo the deduction. But let's jump on to the next set of rules, I assume. Together and separate. Together and separate. Oh, okay. So, if they've got curly braces around them, that means the number of cells has to follow traditional Picross rules, in that they have to be contiguous in the row or column. If they have hyphens on either side of them, that means they have to follow the opposite. Well, not quite the opposite, but they can't all be connected. Okay. Okay. I think. So most of these are individual aquariums, apart from this one. So this abnormality is probably a good place to start. So this row is saying that at least one of these 3 cells has to not be connected to the other ones. Because when there's 3 of them, either we can have them all separate or we can have one separate. You need 5 to have them all separate. So I think that means that is the only configuration that works. So that configuration doesn't work. And we always have to fill up both of these. So I think we're saying that has to be the configuration. That then means if that's the configuration, that one's there. I think that means that has to be the configuration for that column. Because we can't, if we put the next one there, we can't have a gap anywhere. If that's true, then this through Scanlan's kind of with a standard Picross, if you have one against a wall and you have like a number there, it means that one always has to be the next one to make sure it's contiguous. Which means that and that. That means again, because this is up against a wall, it has to be like that. And then this one has to have one separate, just like that. Oh, okay. Okay, this is going to spice things up, I suspect. Alright, coral and reef. Yeah, now we're doing the aquariums and also with these new rules. Okay. We also have the standard numbers, which is it can be any configuration. I'm glad you're starting to like it, Greetings, Scar. I've heard very good things from a few people about this one. And as I love Picross and monograms, I was interested in to try this test, this twist. Okay, it's worth remembering that kind of the contiguousness can carry across aquarium. So for this row, that's valid, but also that and that are also valid. So, where are we starting? So on this column, we need to have 3. It doesn't matter how they're connected. So the 2 options are, there's a few options. We can either do this and one of these 2, or we can do this, this, and this. Don't think that tells us anything immediate. It must do because I'm being a doof. Okay. This column, they're all connected. Which means it has to fill in that one. Which means as this row's all connected, one can't go there. It has to either go here or here. That means stuff, because of the normal aquarium rules, can't go there or there, which means that has to go there. Okay. And now that means we have to go there and there to fill up that one, which means we can't go there, which means we have to do that. Okay. Oh no. I am definitely going to get stuck on this soon. I can feel it. Feel it coming. Okay, we're another 4x4 grid. So one of the classic Picross deductions is when you've got like a contiguous number like this, there's only two places, there's only two options this can fill in, right? You can either have this or this when it's free in your grid 4. So we know immediately from kind of standard Picross deductions, these two have to be filled in. That's helpful because then when you have one up here, that also means that one has to be filled in. And that basically then wipes out that whole aquarium up there. So when we've got a 2 here, we could either click there or there, but because of the aquarium rules, it has to be there. Because if we put up there, it would be too many. Which is useful because that's 2 separated, which is valid. Then we need 2 in this column, which means we have to go there because of the aquarium rules again. Which means that one's finished, which means that one goes up there. Okay. So I also have to remember my standard Picross deduction rules as well. Fine, fine, fine. Wave and Ripple, a 4x6. Now you see that same trick doesn't work so well here because the options are here and here, or here and here, but there's no overlap. But this column tells us something because there's 3 of them and we need a space. And the only place we can have a space is here with how the aquariums are laid out. Because we can't do it, we can't skip this space and put one up here. That then means if this has to all be joined, 3 of them across here, the maximum to the left it can be is this one, and this one. Maximum to the right it can be is this one, and this one. Which means it can't be one there, and then we can use the aquarium rules to say, well, that means it can't be one there. That means if we've got 2 here and one of them has to be separate to the other ones, we can't fill in these 2 cells, so we need one there. By a similar deduction, that means if there's 3 connected, the max to the right it can go is 1, 2, 3. Which means it can't hit that one, which means that one is filled in again. Which means that row has to be like that. That one has to have one there. And then because of the aquarium rules, we can't just put one there, it has to go there. Which means that's then eliminated. Which then means we need one touching here, which is that. Okay. These are, yeah, this is clever. I like where this is going very much. Right, Sun and Breeze. 5x5. We've got 4 contiguous. And a 4, however, here. Now, 4 contiguous. If we do that, we can't, that's not contiguous, so it has to be like that, I believe. And these 2 have to be separated, so we can't fill up these 2 because they're not disconnected, which means that one has to be eliminated. And as we know there's not one here, and we have a 3 contiguous in this row, we can say that it could be here, here, and here, or here, here, and here. So we know that these 2 always have to be included, which means I think it just has to be that based on the aquarium rules. Oh, that's an interesting twist. Okay. That means we need 4 in this column. Oh yes, so we saw that earlier, that you can do this and this, and as long as it doesn't overflow the top, that's still valid. Yeah. So for the 4 here, I think that is the only solution. Which means we can't have one there. Which means those aren't there. So yeah, importantly, we can cross those out, but we can't cross that one out, because that one might still be valid. And in fact, it has to be that one now I look at it. Because if we put it there, we're not obeying this separated rule. That means all of that's out because of the aquarium rules, which means it's that one. And then it can't be that one because it has to be disconnected, so it's that one. Oh, I like this rule set. I very much like this rule set. Okay, 6x6 grid. We've got a 5 disconnected here. So that means 5 along the bottom, but with 1 gap somewhere. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not enough to fill it up, which means those 2 have to be included. Now, if you know Picross, you sometimes get like 1, 1, which means there's 1 and then a some number of spaces and a 1. This, when you got a 2-ax, similarly. Because effectively this is a 1 gap 1. So if we've got a space here, the one thing we know is that we can't have our second one here, which then using the aquarium rules just means nothing can go in that aquarium, because we'd say nothing can go here, which means nothing can go on this bottom step of the aquarium, which means nothing can go above it. Okay. Similarly, as this is 2 separated, it can't go in these 2. Okay, so it could go... no, it can't go here because... It can't be in any of those because, again, it's a 2 separated. It can't go there either. Oh, okay. Right, I'm not sure where to go from here. Oh, hello, Quasi-Otter. Thank you for joining us. That's kind of you about my voice. I'm not sure my students, after 2 hours of being lectured at, would agree, but, you know, that's understandable as well. Okay, so where are we at? We've got 2 separated. It does sound perfect for an otter, yes. To be fair, I think this game in general is probably quite a happy space for otters. What with it being nice and watery. Okay, so this is 2 separated, so they can't both go there, so one of them has to go there. Yes. Okay. And this is 2 contiguous, and we've only got 3 spaces left, which means one of them has to go there, which then, because of the aquarium rules, fills that up, completes that row. Okay. And we know that can't be filled there. So that's not got enough space for 2 contiguous, so they both have to go there. Okay. So you need 2 more down here. And up here, this could go over here or here. That would fulfill things fine. But 4... Okay, so 4 separated. If we put one here, or we put one here, there always has to be one up here, I believe, which completes that. Which gives us these 2 and these 2. one. So that one's filled, which means that one has to be filled. So then 2 contiguous either goes here or here, but that would give us 3, so it has to go there. Which then means that. Alright, nice. Very nice. Oh, alright, let's be spicy and try one of the hard levels with this new rule set. Okay, 6 by 7. Oh dear. Going to regret doing this, aren't I? Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of question marks. That's exactly what I was thinking as well, Scar. Okay, so 5 is probably the best place to start. Now, the only slight problem is when you've just got a 5 like this when it's not contiguous. So if this was Picross, I could say, well, I know these 4 had to be filled in. But I can't do that because this doesn't tell me anything about where the gap is, and the gap could be in any of these places. Interesting, the gap can be in any of these places except here. Because if we put the gap here, we'd need to put a thing here, and we can't because of the way it flows. So we know that has to be filled in. Okay. So when there's 4 with a gap, when there's 4 with a gap, the 2 options seem to be either this or this. Interesting, but it can't be that way around. I don't like how the big region has a small wall that separates nothing. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Oh, here, do you mean? Well, it kind of separates how it fills, I guess. And yeah, generally with kind of Picross and Onogram games, you don't make guesses. It's all deductive reasoning from the rule set. It's just sometimes the deductions are tricky to see. And I'm still learning this new rule set. But yeah, so kind of what I was doing there was a deduction, right? Because I was saying you could either do this, because that fulfills 4 with a gap, or the other, because it can't be here and here, because that makes 5, and it can't be here and here, because that doesn't leave a gap. And then I was saying the other option is I do this, this and this, but that discounts this rule over here, which means I believe that has to be the only way that can work. Okay, if that is the only way that can work, and this is a 2 with a gap, that means we're discounting all of this area. Because there needs to be a gap here, and then because of the aquarium rules, it wipes out this whole area. We're also discounting all of that, because that would make it up to 3. And we're also, because of this, discounting all of that, because that would make 3 without a gap. How did I deduce the top row? Well, I deduced the top row because the 2 options that are obvious are either this or this, to make up the 4 with a gap, because you can't do this and this because there's no gap, you can't do this and this because it's 5 and no gap. So the other way you can make up 4 with a gap is filling in these 2 and these 2, but that then fills up all around here and breaks this rule over here because there's no gap for these 3. The last column, exactly, yeah. So let's go back to where we were. So it can't be that one, can't be that one. Oh, no. Can't be those 3. Okay. It means it has to be this one or this one. then 3 with a gap. Oh no, it's not that one. Yes, yep, you're right. It's not that one because of the horseshoe thing. In fact, I think it has to be that one, because we need to do that and that and that. Well, no, it just tells you the numbers whether or not you're fulfilling the rules of that. There is an option in the game that I've turned off, which is allowing me to make mistakes. A lot of Picross or Nonogram games, by default for new people, if you click somewhere wrong, they'll tell you. I've played a lot of them and I don't like it, so I turn that off. So you still absolutely can make mistakes and have to rededuce, which we've had to do in a harder level earlier as well. Anyway, that's that completed, that's that completed. So, no, why did I put a cross there? Because, yeah, I was hasty there as well, because we can either do this and this and this, or the gap can be there. And if we follow the deduction I was trying to make there, the problem is we then do this, which then means we don't have enough here to make 5, so that can't be correct. Which means it has to be this way around. Which means that's completed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which completes those, and then like that. Oh yeah, no, I find Picross and Nonograms very, very satisfying generally. The classic ones, they kind of make a picture, but I'm finding, because these are new deductions and new rules I'm having to learn, I'm finding this very satisfying as well. Oh, okay, an 8x8. So, always look for the largest numbers first is my motto. So we have a 7 up here. So again, we need one gap somewhere. I've not played Hex Cells. I think Hex Cells is sort of Nonogram, but on a hexagon grid, but I can't tell you exactly because I've not played it. It's on my list. Okay, so there's a 7 here. We need one gap somewhere. Which means, again, we can use that same deduction we made last time, that it has to go here because the gap can't go here. And it has to go here because the gap, we can't go here because it won't leave. Like, we can't put a gap there, basically. Okay, 2 separate. We can't go here because that would fill both of those up and disobey that rule. We can't go here because that would fill them both up and disobey that rule. We can't go here because that would fill them both up and disobey that rule. Yeah, so okay, so 2 separates are actually really powerful clues. They're really useful. We'll need to look out for those later. Okay, and also we have 2 contiguous across here, but I don't think that helps us massively yet. Oh, is Hex Cells more like Minesweeper? That kind of makes sense, yes. I can't remember, there is a generic name for kind of Minesweeper likes, but I can't quite remember what that is off the top of my head. Okay, so again, we've got a 5 down here. These only make up 4, which means this one has to be filled in order to make up to 5. Oh, that's interesting. The brackets and dashes are the same notation. Ah, well, that's good. I guess when I eventually get around to Hex Cells, I'll have a bit more knowledge to help me out with it. Right. So where are we at with this deduction, I guess? So there's only 2 more somewhere along here. Don't know where the gap is down here yet. Has to be something across here somewhere for that one. Okay, so there must be a deductive step somewhere I'm not seeing. That's true. The Buried Treasure Discord does seem to love hex cells. It's not that I'm not into it. I've just not got around to it yet. It's definitely on my list. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's have a look up here. So this row, we need 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells left open. I think means these ones have to be filled. Yeah, because then it's either that one or that one needs to be completed. Okay, that's useful, because if that's true, then we can't go here. That would add too many. Which then means we have 1, 2, 3. Those 2 have to be filled. Then we have 3 down here, so we can't go here. We can't go here because that will overload that again. Oh man, which then means our 2 contiguous can either go here or here. Okay, and on this 6th column we have 4 here already, which means you can't click here because that will make us go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, we can click there. I just mathsed wrong. If we go there, yeah, that could be a possible option. Nuts. Ah, we've got 3 here, so we can't go there, because that will overload that row. And we've got 2 contiguous, which means it can't go there, because there's not space, as we've X'd around either side of it. The thing with these puzzles is you eventually get to this step where it kind of unlocks. Definitely the harder ones are all about getting to that kind of step that unlocks it for you. Okay, and it can't go here either, because that would overload that column. It has to go here or here. In fact, there's a walled off cell here, makes me very suspicious that that's important for a deduction I'm not getting as well. So the bottom row, it can either go here and here or here still. Both of those are valid. Another one. Oh, okay, so this row, I was just thinking we can't go here, here and here, because that wouldn't leave a gap, which then means we can't go here, here and here because that's too many. I think means we have to do these cells. So that would take us up to 5. We can either put it there or there or there, and that's fine. But if we don't use these 2 to add up to 6, we have to use these 3, which is not valid. So I think we have to do that one, which might be the unlocking key that we need. So that then kind of finishes that column. Also means this contiguous has to go here. Finishes that row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up here is possible. That finishes that row. That has to go there, because that finishes that. Then means... So that then means for this column, we either have to fill in these two, or this one and this one. So whatever happens, that one has to be filled in. It also means for this column, because there has to be a gap, we can't just use these two. Which means one of them has to go here. Which finishes that. Don't know which one of those is yet. Then for 5, that can go there or there. That's fine. The 3. Oh yeah, the 3 has to then go there for that one. Oh, this one is really tricky. Then we can either go there or there to finish that one. That doesn't help us yet. Oh, okay. Where is the next step? I want to... Oh, the next step is that one has to go like that. It completes that. Because that 5, that's the only free space. That means we have the 4 across there. We know which one has to be crossed out there, which finishes that left-hand column. That one's full, which means that one has to go there. Oof. Okay. That's what I mean, though, about sometimes you get the key and then there's like a whole series of deductions that you can follow from it. Thank you. That one definitely taxed my brain. I wonder what the next rule set is. Cracks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, then. I'm sure these exist before, but I've never seen ones with, like, you have to fill in 1.5 squares. So how does this flow? Yeah, so the flowing sort of follows the same expected rules. Oh, okay, wowzers. Oh, that's nice that you can then cross the halves. Okay. So then... If we're only filling half a square across here, we know that we can't click up here, because that will always fill 3 squares. Which means none of these can be filled in. Similarly, for the 1.5, that will always give us 1 square. This will always give us 1 square. Wait, what? Oh no, that will give us 1 square. That will give us 1.5 squares. So the two options are either those have to be filled in, or that has to be filled in. But it can't be that, because that breaks this rule up here. So I think it has to be that. Which then means we can cross out all of that. That then means on this row we need another half to make it up, which is that. Which then sorts out that column and that row. That needs to have an extra 1. That needs to have a half. Well, I think I maybe just raced ahead before I saw your comment there, Greetings, Scar. Maybe I got lucky. Oh no, this half splittergram, that's going to be interesting. And of course, all the rules from previously can come back. So that means 2.5 have to be filled contiguously. That means 3 has to be filled, but there has to be a gap somewhere. Oh, I wonder what it counts as a gap, whether half counts as a gap. Oh no, oh no. So this one has to be filled up with 1, but non-contiguously. Oh man. So like that's, yeah, we can't do that because that's a contiguous 1. We can't do that because that's a contiguous 1, which means that has to be filled in, I think, to have half that's not connected to another half. Oh, that is... Oh, okay, that is a thing. Right. And then I guess it can either be that half or that... Oh, it can't be that half because of the aquarium rules, of course. It has to be that half. Yeah, it is a bit of a philosophical quandary saying I want a glass that's half full but also half empty. But I want them in, you know... I want to layer those half full and half empties in a really complicated manner. Right, so that means that has to be 2. And as this has to be contiguous, that has to be filled in as well. So that's 1, 2.5 up to there. We can't place there because that would fill in all of that, which means that has to go there. Okay then. Okay then. Yeah, right. Interesting. It is incredibly silly, but also kind of incredible. Okay, so for this row, we need to just not have half of it filled, because we're at 3 by 3. So, we'll always fill up 1.5 here, we'll always fill up 1 here. So that's the only half that we can't, that we can not fill in without filling in other things. This gives us some information straight out the gate. Now, we can't go into here because of the aquarium rules. It will fill round because it can kind of flow up and around. So we can't fill in those 2. Which means for the whoa, which means, yeah, we can't do that one either because that will fill in where we've got crosses. So we have to fill that in, then that in there. I don't think it will. Picross is one of those sorts of... It's like doing Sudokus or stuff. It's sort of just like this meditative colouring in sort of process, really. Like, I don't do it to discover new mechanics. I do it because it's just quite a nice meditative mindfulness thing. Okay, new rules. We have question marks that are contiguous or non-contiguous now. So a contiguous question mark means everything in that row has to be contiguous. And a separated question mark means you have to have a gap. And it is confirming that half counts as a gap there. Oh, that's wild. Okay. So for example, in this row, however many we have in this row, they all have to be linked. Yes, and we've got a contiguous one again, similar to how we had a separated one in the last one, as you point out, greeting Scar. So, we've got a 2.5 here, which means that we have to fill that up. That's the only way we can leave half. That then means whatever's in here has to be contiguous across from this left-hand side. So, also, because we've crossed that out, we have to cross all of those out. So there's 2 ways to get a 1 here. We can either get a 1 like that, or we can get a 1 like that, but that's not allowed because that's not contiguous. So it has to be like that. I think then means we have to do that. And that completes that contiguous rule. Then we need something separated in here, which means we also have to fill in that one. Oh, that's really wild. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's so many question marks. So many question marks. So we've got a 5x4. The regular question mark does accept empty. I think so. I think it's any number between 0 and max. So, like, I think this is valid if this whole column has nothing in it. Having said that, we've not seen any zeros. We filled column 4 with crosses. The question marks I don't think change colour when you fulfilled them. They didn't in the last one either. But yeah, we've not seen any zeros, which is often a clue type in these types of games. That's interesting. Okay. So, biggest numbers first. We've got 5 on here, and we need to fill it with at least 4. So that would fill up with 1.5. That would fill up with 1.5. We can fill it up with 1.5, half 1.5. Or, sorry. Yeah, half 1.5 or 2 in the middle. No, in the last one, they didn't turn red when they were wrong. See? So that's wrong, but it's not turning red. Okay, so if we did that, for example, we'd have to fill up everything else there. So that's valid. I see what you mean. But again, I don't think they did last time, because I did do something similar, I thought. So if I do that, that's now definitely wrong. Okay, so the option is I can do that, and that's valid. So that's interesting. There is no valid solution if I fill both of these up to full. So that's not valid. That's not valid. So is there a valid solution? I don't think that's a valid solution. I think means that's the only valid solution for that bit. So I'm going to go with that for now and maybe regret that later. You think it's not the only solution? You think you can get 4 another way? Like that. Wait, no, that's the one I had. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so in either solution, I think all these need to be filled. Okay, so this has to be contiguous. This has to have a gap in it. This has to have a gap in it. If this has to always be filled and this has to have a gap, we have to put one there to ensure there's a gap. Then means we need 1.5 more somewhere. One of the halves has to come from up here. It can't be that one because that will overload it. Which means that has to be filled in, which completes that column. Which means that is then, because the aquarium walls can't be filled in. So that's 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that has to be the correct one. We've got there in a more effectively deducey way. And this also has to have a gap in it. And I think that means we have to put stuff over there to fulfill that. Now, this also has to have a gap in it, so we need to fill up to there. Yeah, okay. Oh, these question marks with contiguous or gaps on are tricksy. Oh, I'm not looking forward to the hard ones on these. Alright. Okay, so this is perfect vertical symmetry down the middle, it looks like. Yeah, with the clues as well. Okay. So we have a 2.5 down there, and a 2.5 down there, and a 2 across the top. Now, everything here has to be contiguous. I want to go back and check a rule. Oh, no. I want to go back and check a rule quickly. Where did you introduce the rule? Was it 4? Yes, okay. So contiguous can be a single cell. That's valid, but obviously a separated one can't be a single cell. Alright. So we could, for example, just put here, but then if we put anywhere else on this column, that would disobey that rule. So that's valid for that row, but then we can't, then if we were to go in that route, we're basically saying you can't put anything in any of this. Then I guess the question becomes, can you... Yeah, then the problem is you can't complete that column. I think means that we can't put in there. That's one, yeah. You don't agree with that deduction? Interesting. Well, I'm going to follow it through for my own learning, even if it's wrong. Okay. Feeling like that is kind of... that's... So that's allowed because that is separated. Okay, so 2.5. We've got 4 across the top. So is there anything we can... Or 4 vertical. Is there anything we can deduce from that? So we can say that's 1. That's 2.5. Or we can do it that way as well. So there's lots of ways to get the 2.5. There's ways to get the 2 as well. would be valid. That would be valid. But that's not valid because of this rule here. So basically what it's saying is we can't fill that entire second row. And those have to be contiguous. Okay. So I got a bit stuck in my head with that one, because that one was doing my head. Alright, so we've got about half hour left on this. And we've got about halfway through the basic islands in the game. It's worth saying, certainly there is daily levels coming, and there is also, I think, Explorer mode, which I think is a automatically generated puzzle thing as well. So really this dive mode is mostly, I guess, to teach you the rules and the deductions to move on to the dailies and the procedure generated ones. Let's see if we can keep going and do the hard ones, and then we'll see where we are for time and whether we're going to swap game. Ooh, that's a very different looking one because of all the solid spaces. Oh, there's no numbers on this one at all. Enjoy your breakfast, Otter. I hope you have a nice one. And thanks for joining. Oh man, I can't believe there's no numbers on this one at all. Okay. So. Got contiguous and separated ones. So this separated one means we have to have something in both here and here. It's the only way to separate things. So I think that means we have to have at least that and that. To make sure something is separated. If that's true, then we can't have those ones because that's not contiguous anymore. Which also knock out all of those. It feels like an extreme deduction, but I'm going to follow it through and see how we go with it. Finally, then we have contiguous here and here. Contiguous here and here. We need some separated ones here as well. So, as this is contiguous, kind of ones there, or any of that. Means we'd need one there. One there. But that's clearly not right. Which rule am I failing? I've not got anything in that one. So one there. So that's contiguous. Oh, I don't have one there either. There we go. Yeah, I think I got to you that just as you mentioned that Scar. Alright, okay, what have we got here? A nice pattern of 4x4. Always be suspicious when a hard one. Yes, the regular question marks are okay with being empty. Always be suspicious of a hard puzzle like this when it's a really small board. Okay, so there has to be a half down here, which means it can't be that cell, because that can never be half, which I think basically knocks out that entire group. It also can't be that bit, so it has to be that bit or that bit. And that's 1, 2. And then there's no way either of these can provide a half for this row. They always have to provide one. which I think means, because we couldn't do, say, that, and that. That doesn't work. So I think these two always have to be filled as well. Or these 4 half cells have to be filled. Then it could be either this one or this one that completes that row. Oh, no, didn't mean to click there. So we need 1 cell missing, or 2 half cells missing from this column. Two across the top. So that this will either contribute 0 or 1, this will either contribute 0 or 1, this will either contribute 0 or 1, and these two can contribute a half. But if this one is clicked, basically this one also has to be selected too. Okay, so maybe, yeah, let's attack this free. So we know these ones have to be, this one has to be here. So we need to, we fill this one up, that will add 1. It doesn't matter what we do here, that will always add 1 to this column. We can add a half there and a half there. So this can add 0, yeah, this can add 0, half, or 1. This can add a half as well. So for example, that could be a solution. Or we can't use both of these because of that 1. So that could be a solution, or I think, does it have to be that way around? I'm going to follow that through. Because if that's that way around, that would make that. That. Which is not valid. So that assumption back here was wrong, which is fine. Yeah, let's go back because there was that assumption was wrong. So we need to figure out. I need to figure out what was right here. Because we can't use these ones. We can't use these ones basically all to make that free, because that breaks this rule, which means we have to have that one in, from what I understand. So that means we need 1 more made up from up here. So it could be that, or it can be that, but that one breaks things. Or it can be that. Or it can be that. So we know it can't be that combination. It can be that combination. So basically, it either has to be that, or it has to be that. So let's attack one of the other places to see if we can disambiguate that. So we know we can't fill in these, because that will break that rule. Because that will mean we have more than a half. And we can't fill in this half because that will mean we have half that we can't complete. So we can't go there. Which means our one either has to be there or there. It means basically, yeah. No, one has to be any of those. That makes sense. So to get 2 here, that's like half. You'd 1, 2, 3. Which means I think that one always has to be filled in to finish. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Half, 1, and 1.5. So that one always has to be filled in, which means that can't be like that. That's always the frustrating thing when you do a deduction. So Sky in the chat just said, I deduced the bottom left corner, but it doesn't give me anything. That's always slightly frustrating when you deduce something that feels really good, and then you go, oh, it doesn't actually help me progress. Right, so where are we? We have 2.5, which needs to go over there or there. That completes that. That is valid as well. Okay, so if we're doing 2 across, right? They're the 2. We either have to fill in both of these, or we have to fill in one of these and the 2 corner ones. And we can't fill in both of these, because that now breaks the rules. Which means the 2 corner ones have to be filled in, which blocks that up, which unlocks that. Oh, well, that's not right then. Yeah, don't base anything on my incomplete case study, though. Obviously, that's not a great idea. Why does that? Oh yeah, because we can't do that and that. That. Which means I have fluffed something. It's that way round. That means that has to go there. That has to go there, but that's not valid. Which means there is, yeah, there is a mistake here somewhere. All right. Back to the beginning, I think, because I don't know where that mistake was. Let's rededuce. So, first deduction last time was that for 3 here, we have to have at least this filled in. Because if we wanted to get 3 without that one, we had to fill in all of these. And that breaks this rule here. And I think that deduction still stands. So, that's valid. That's valid. That's valid. Okay. Yes, and as you say, the row 4, we know that we can't go in here, can't go in here, and we can't go here. Because otherwise, we'd overload the 4th column with 1. if we're doing 2.5 as well, there's no way to get that 2.5 column without filling in both of these to get the 2, I don't think. Yeah, so those need to be filled as well. So what that means is we've got a situation where we need exactly 1 more cell's worth of water in the second column, which, as we discovered, can either come from here, or come from a combination of these, or it can come from these. Can't come from is this next to this. For example, that's valid. So, where's the deduction next from here, I guess? I think that must be where I fluffed it before. Oh yes, and it also, yeah, it can't be those because that's too much. So, I has to go in one of these. I think as well. I think no matter which way we get free, we're going to use up this 1 in one of these spaces. So yeah, we don't know which other... Congratulations, Scar. We don't know which other one here is empty. Right, okay. I was on the right track, but just made mistakes. Well, if that isn't an epitaph for the end of anyone's life, I don't know what is. Yeah, okay. So, what am I missing? We need 1 more cell here, so we can either do that, or we could do that, or we could do that. Any of those are valid. None of that really helps. That's still valid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so that's invalid if we do that. The other way we can look at that to getting 2 this way is like that, which we can't do, and like that, which we can't do. That, which we can't do. So that, I think... Oh. Yeah, there's something here. I just need to make the deduction. That's the bit that my brain is struggling with, but there's something there I feel like I've nearly got. Okay, so if we fill up any of this, we'll always complete the 1 there. Do something like that. like that. That, and that's fine, but then the problem is we can't complete down there. Alternatively, we could do this. This, but then we can't complete that. Does that mean we have to do that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, every other way had issues with us being able to complete that. Locked us out. Phew, okay. I think we're going to have a very quick look at one more of the new rules, and then we're going to move to Soccer Bond Express, I think. So, a new rule, rafts. So the rule seems to be the raft has to sit on water. It needs a full space to itself. How do I... Alright, can I... Okay, I can use 1 to 4 to do rafts. So yes, rafts have to sit on water. It has to have a full kind of side of water underneath it. It can't sit in the air, and it can't sit in half a cell. I assume this means how many rafts you need. So you need 2 rafts across here. Okay, something I want to check immediately. Is that allowed? No, that's not allowed. So as that's not allowed, that tells us... That tells us where the rafts have to go, right? Because we know that we have to do this. Put a raft there and there. Or a boat, I should say. Okay, so that's now valid for the boats. Cool. Then we can say there's no more boats allowed across there. Oh, no, I overrode the boat. Because they dropped to sit on the water level. Okay. Okay, you can put both of the yeses or nos in. That's useful. That also implies that we have to put water there, and there has to be a boat there and there. Okay, yes, whatever floats your boats, indeed. Alright, lovely. We've also got a thing here saying we need exactly 1 boat. I guess the other thing that we know is we can't put boat in water, which feels like it might be important. Oh god, it's another one without any numbers. Okay, so this one here means we have to have something in this row, and it has to have a gap. So I think the only way we can do that is by having these filled. But if that's true, this then has to be contiguous. Which means we have to fill that. And then we need a space for the boat to sit on, which means we have to do that and that. But then this isn't contiguous anymore, so we have to do that. Okay. Okay. These are some extra levels of deduction. So we need five boats. 5 boats. Okay, so first things first, we need a boat in this row. Can't go there because there's no water under it. Can't go there, there's no water under it. It can't go there, there's no water under it. So we have to do that. Then means no more boats, no more boats. Right. Then we need 2 boats across here. But again, we can't put a boat there. Which means the boat has to go here and here. Oh, that's nice. It automatically fills the water up for you. But interestingly, we're still missing 2 boats. But that means I think a boat needs to go there and there. They're the only other 2 places boats can go. Yes, I know what you mean, Greeting Scar. To be fair, I've not clicked. Maybe middle mouse button puts boats down. Oh no. So, okay. Across the top row, we need a contiguous selection of boats. Which means we need at least one boat in the top row. As you see, only 3 boats total. What that means is we need a boat in this column and in this column. And one in this row. Okay, so things that we can say immediately that might be useful. Boat can't go there, boat can't go there, boat can't go there, or there, or there, or there. Or there, but we don't really care about that one. But you know, let's be completionist. Just in case this helps. Okay. I think that's everywhere a boat can't go. And we need one boat in this row. And we need one boat in this column, one boat in this column. So the boat in this column has to go here or here. It's the only really valid places a boat can live. We also know that we need 4 water and 4 water. Okay, so right. Up here, we know there has to be a boat somewhere in this column. We also know there has to be 4 water. So if we put water here, we'd have to have 3 water here. If we put 4 water there, there's nowhere to put a boat. So I think what that means, we have to put a 3 water there, a water there, and a boat there. That means the only place a boat can go is here. And then, because of the contiguous rule, we know that boats can't go across here. So, that then means we need a boat here or here. And we know we can't put water here because of this. No, that's not true. We know we need a space across here at least. We also still need 4 water in this column. Another... Right, we know that obviously water can't go here because of the boat, which means water can't go here either. Okay, because we need 4 water in this column. The max we can get from just this is 3. The max we can get from just this is 3. So that means we have to have at least these waters, and then we need to figure out which one goes where. Also, obviously, a potential place for our boat. That then means, if that's true, water has to go here to fulfill this question mark with a gap in it. So that means we can't have water elsewhere. Which I think then fulfills everything and means our boat has to go there. Because we can't put the boat up there, which then means that needs to be full of water up there to do the 4. Oh, okay. Oh. This definitely complicates the thinking. Okay, so we need 2 boats total in here. We have got some numbers, but we've got a lot of question marks with conditions. So, 3 by 6. Okay, so over here we've got question mark with separation. Now, however we put stuff in here, it's going to fill up down to here, which means this has to be empty for us to get some form of separation. And we've got contiguous water in these columns and contiguous water across the top row. Got a half over here of this row. We need at least 4 across. Okay, so this might be one of those conditions where we've got to figure out where the water goes from the boats. So we know no boat, 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 no boat. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces boats can still go. Doesn't help us hugely. Okay, so we need to have 4 across the top. If we filled that one in, that would get us up to 2. Which means one of this or this has to be water. But that doesn't seem to help much. Well, hang on, if one this... if one of these two has to be water, and it has to be contiguous water, it can't be this and this. So I think that those have to be filled in. I think those have to be filled in order to mean there can be 4 contiguous water across the top. And if we fill this in to be contiguous water, what happens? That's fine for those. And for those. But that wouldn't disambiguate where the 2 boats had to go. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So let's just check the other option for that, which is this. Yeah, if we do it that way around, there's not enough space for boats to go. We have to fill that in, and we could put a boat here, but there's nowhere else to put a boat, so it has to be the other way around. So we can put a boat there, boat there. Oh. Alright, we'll do the last quote-unquote easy one for this set, and then we will change game, I think. Have a look at Soccer Bond Express, even. Ah, look, we finally got a 0. There are no boats in this column. Lovely. And we need 5 boats total. Yes, a 0 boat queue on the bottom row would definitely be a troll, I agree. Okay, so we now because of all those crosses, we know we need 2 boats in the across here. We know that they have to go there and there. It's no boats, no boats, no boats. Then also, that solves the water for us in here, I think. So we can't put it there or there, because that will get rid of the boat. We've already got one, so it has to go there. Fixes that. It's kind of annoying you can't put a water cross behind a boat, but I guess it's always, you know, there's a boat in the way. So then we need 2 over here. So we can't have water there. We can't have water there. We need water here or here because of this clue. Two in this column. And we're missing 3 boats. So I think there's only, yeah, I think there's only 3 places boats can go, so it must have to be there, there, and there, right? And then we need water down there to make the bottom row contiguous. All right. Okay. Well, so that's been Liquidum for the first part of this stream. Really, really interesting kind of twist on the Picross nonogram field. We've unlocked the daily levels as well, which is cool. Also, this game's super, super cheap. Go buy it on Steam if you like this sort of thing. Really, really nice. The interface is quite well done. It's got nice kind of feel for dragging and drawing, which is a big thing with these Picross games. Whether that works well. Apparently it's on mobile as well. I can see this being a really good mobile game. So yes, do go pick this up if it's something you fancy.